guys, Luke here with the Outdoor Gear Review. Hope you're all doing well. Today for this episode, we're going to be discussing the Loadout, the gear that I'll be taking with me for my Creeper Walk 2013 day hike. You know, if you guys have, watched my previous videos, you guys know what I'm talking about. This is from Damascus, Virginia to Abingdon, Virginia, and back to Damascus. It's 34 miles round trip, and we're looking to accomplish this in 12 hours or less. So, guys, you might want to grab a tasty beverage. I got a cup of coffee here. And we'll go ahead and get started, and we'll discuss the gear, the clothing, so on and so forth. Let's get started. For this trip, our backpack of choice is the Black Diamond Octane. This is a 28-liter pack. And, honestly, I could get away with a smaller pack. But the truth is, this pack is extremely comfortable. It's definitely one of the most comfortable packs that I have. And really what makes it so dang comfortable is this hip belt right here. Check that out. I absolutely love the way that that pivots with your body. It makes for an incredibly comfortable ride. And like I said, this really is one of the most comfortable backpacks that I own. I'll go ahead and put this on and I'll show you just how well that hip belt works. Okay, guys. As you can see, very good fit. But what makes this so special is that, it can pivot. The hip belt can pivot on its own, independently from the backpack itself. Now, I'm just going to do this one time and then you guys will never see this again. But to demonstrate how this works, watch this. You can see how the pack and the hip belt move independently. So, it's just super awesome and comfortable. I don't know how to... Yeah, something like that. I want to make a promise to you all right now. I will never ever do that again on camera. As you can see there, in all seriousness, that hip belt really is functional. And it being able to pivot like that is extremely comfortable. And the bag itself doesn't have to move. It really is awesome. Let's go ahead and start digging into the bag now and going over our gear. We'll start here in the top pocket. I'll have my wallet in there, I'll have my cell phone in there, my keys, so on and so forth. But along with that, I'll also have my miscellaneous bag. And that will include toilet paper, just in case, and my first aid kit. And for the sake of this video, if anybody is interested in doing a long day hike like myself, like I'm going to be doing, I'll go ahead and show you the contents of this, so you guys can have an idea of what you might need when you're out and about. Because the truth is, a long, full day hike is going to leave you sore, possibly with blisters, so you got to be prepared. Here is our little first aid kit, and within it, there's everything that we will need to keep us as comfortable as possible for such a long hike. I have 3 Band-Aids, just in case. I have a little package of pills right here. And these are sinus pills because I do have allergies from time to time. I also, the little blue pills aren't what you're thinking, of course, you guys. They're just Aleve, just a little bit of painkiller because, after 15 miles, anybody will start getting sore. After 20 miles, you're going to feel it. And when you start approaching 30 and further, you really are going to need some pain reliever. And so that's what this is. But one of the most important things to have with you is a pin, a safety pin, something just like this. If you're going to be doing a really, really long day hike, it's very likely and possible that you're going to have some big blisters. So you need to have a way to pop it. Very, very important. Speaking of blisters, that's where moleskin comes in. And gosh, this stuff is so very important. Take a look at this. This stuff is invaluable. It really is. It's worth its weight in gold. I highly recommend it. As soon as you start getting a blister, you just take care of it, and man, you're in really good shape. It really does a good job. Also, in that first aid kit, I have a little bit of gauze, just in case, and some medical tape. You just never know when you might actually need this stuff. Also, I doubt that I'll see too many people on the Creeper Trail tomorrow, but anytime that I've ever been out there and I've had my first aid kit, I've always ended up using it on someone else. People get hurt out there all the time, And most of the time they're riding their bikes, so, you know, I've doctored people up more times than I can possibly count. Also in this miscellaneous kit, we have a couple additional lights and a couple additional batteries for our headlamp. Speaking of the headlamp, here you go. It's just a Petzl and 2 settings on it, high and low. And I absolutely love this thing. It runs on 3 AAA batteries. There you go. And it's very efficient. The batteries last forever. And you know, in the morning, I will definitely need this because we'll be starting in the dark, and for at least the first couple of hours, it'll be pitch black. So this is very important. Right here I have my hydration bladder, and I have 3 liters of water in it. Now my plan is to fill up once I hit Abingdon. I know that there's a little rest area sort of place at the beginning of the trail, and hopefully I can get water there. If it happens to be that it's closed down for the season, I can actually go into town, which is not much further, 1/4 of a mile, and stop at one of my favorite restaurants. It's I think it's 123 Pecan, or something like that, 128 Pecan, something Pecan anyway, but it's absolutely awesome. They're super nice there, and I will definitely be stopping. If I need water, I'll definitely go there. But of course, there's water along the way. It does follow a number of different rivers and so on. But I should be in pretty good shape to be able to get water from a clean source, so I'm not going to be taking any ways to purify or treat my water. Of course, I have some extra batteries, memory cards, because I will be recording the entire thing for you guys, just like I did with last year's Creeper Walk. This is pretty much my snack bag, and right now there's not a whole lot in it. I've got to go to town and pick up some goodies. I got a pack of crackers, I've got a Z-bar of some sort. Of course, I have some instant coffee, which I will definitely need for this trip, and I have some peanuts. Like I said, I'll be adding to this later tonight. When you're doing a really long hike, calories are extremely important. You need to have some good meals, you need to have lots of snacks. You need to be constantly fueling your body, or I promise you, you're going to feel like absolute crap. So, my meals for this trip will consist of, breakfast will be scrambled eggs and ham, and red and green peppers. Mountain House meal, freaking awesome too. And that's 1 serving there. Now for lunch, I will be having beef stroganoff with noodles. I haven't had this one before, we'll see how it is. This is 2.5 servings, and that's okay, because I really do need that for this type of hike. I need every bit of calories that I can possibly get. Now since I will be heating water on the trail, of course I need a stove. And here's our sweet little stove. Maybe you guys can see that, maybe not. And here's the little cook set that I'll be taking with me. This is the Optimus. And inside of this, I have my spork spoon. I also have a little washcloth. Very lightweight. Here's the gas canister. And here's the stove itself, little neoprene case. You guys may have seen this in my previous videos. There you go, check that sweet little thing out. This thing works really, really well. I really do like it. And of course, I have a lighter in here. So that's a look at the gear that we'll be taking with us. But that's only half of the equation. The other half is clothing. And that is equally as important. It will be cold in the morning, so I will have a nice fleece sweater. This is a Mammut. And I got this for $5 on eBay, and it absolutely rocks. Very warm, very comfortable, and very lightweight. Underneath that, I will have a short sleeve shirt, because it's going to get up into about 70 tomorrow. So with full sun, that's going to be pretty warm. This is just an old Navy active shirt. You know, they call it a performance shirt. It definitely wicks away moisture, and that's important. Very cheap, very durable, and very usable. Now, moving from the top to the bottom, and from our inside out, we do have our Exofinio boxers. Guys, these are invaluable. These are so very important when you're out hiking and backpacking, and namely because it wicks away moisture from your body. Anybody that's ever gone a long distance hike in, say, cotton underwear or something like that, you know, they've learned and lived to regret it. I promise. It will burn you alive. But that underwear really, really helps. And these are boxers. Yeah, they're a little bit expensive, but they are worth the money, I promise you. Talking about worth the money and talking about this underwear here, I guess it was probably last year, it was last fall, myself and two other guys went out onto the Creeper Trail and did a little bit of night hiking. And we probably got about 7 miles in before they got so burned, you know, road rash, you know what I'm saying, they had to turn around and walk back. And they walked half of that trip backwards, holding their butt cheeks apart. And, I mean, because they were so burned up. Underwear, guys, is extremely important when you're out doing long distance hikes. On top of that, of course, extremely lightweight pants, extremely breathable pants, and these are the Arc'teryx Rampart pants. They have rock, they're a little bit expensive. You can look around and find them for a good deal. These pair cost me 40 bucks. You can buy them brand new for $100. So definitely awesome. Going down even further, socks. I will be wearing a thick pair of wool socks. These are Wigwam, and yeah, they're thick, they're a tad bit warm, but you know, for a hike of this magnitude, 34 miles, you need every bit of cushioning you can possibly get. And I mean, trust me on that one, you do. Of course, if you guys have followed my channel for a while, you know what my favorite pair of shoes are, and those are the Vasky Juxt shoes. Alright guys, these things are bomber. I've worn them for a couple of years now, to be honest with you. And, you know, this might actually be their last trip. Let me show you guys what's kind of happened to them over all the years and hundreds of miles. Maybe you guys can see that right here. Just shredded, it's gone. The whole heel. Basically, it's just worn away. And they're also starting to come apart a little bit on the sides here. But gosh, I mean, I've worn these shoes for... I'm serious. I don't know, 300-400 miles, maybe even longer than that. And I mean, they're still holding up extremely well. Even if I got a new pair, I would still wear these for my night hikes and stuff with my buddies because you know what? They still have a lot of use left in them. If I'm gonna be going on a really long hike, I think I'd probably go with the new pair just because there's so much wear on these. But you know what? I'll keep these for a while longer. I'm not ready to give up on them yet. Guys, thank you so much for joining me for this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review and for taking a look at the gear that I'll be using for this massive day hike. If anybody has any questions about the gear that I've shown or about the trip itself, please feel free to send me a message. I'm happy to address it. Also, make sure to check out our Facebook page, The Outdoor Gear Review, and our website at theoutdoorgearreview.com. Guys, be well, take care.